I'll give you a quick look at the freezer that we have in our kitchen. So this is right below our refrigerator, and I really like this. It's very convenient. It pulls out. So let me show you what I have in here. I like using baskets in the freezer too, so that way it keeps things in compartments and it's much more organized that way, and it's easier to find things. Right here at the top, I usually have things like frozen berries. These are breakfast burritos, tortillas. Back there we have pimani. So I just keep things that we use quite often, and it's up here. Sometimes I have hash browns, veggie scraps. I just made broth recently, so I don't have any at the moment. But then here I have bacon, ice cream. These are vegetables, frozen peas and artichokes. In this basket right here, I have some frozen ice packs that we put into lunch boxes. These are frozen pecans. I have ginger, applesauce, and this is a smoothie pack that I have a frozen banana and some spinach that I just add to smoothies. And then here I also have a basket to keep it more organized. There I have some frozen mangoes, some chicken broth. These are bagels. Over here I have flour and then some cod. This is some pulled pork. And on this side I have some chicken and some chicken burgers from Costco that are just an easy lunch that I give the boys every once in a while. In this freezer, I mainly keep things that we use more regularly and things that I'll be cooking that week. We also have an extra freezer in our garage, and I highly recommend that you get an extra freezer. It saves us so much money, and it's just really nice to have an extra freezer. So I really prefer these upright freezers versus the chest freezers because I think it's much easier to organize them and to actually see what you have. Of course, that's a personal preference, so go with whatever you feel is right for you. So generally, this is how I have the freezer organized. At the very top, I have prepared foods. So like I have breakfast burritos at the top. I have puff pastry, tortillas, bread. These are meatballs that are already cooked. You just have to reheat them. And then here in these two baskets is raw meat. On this side, I have red meat, so pork or beef. And here I have chicken. So all of my chicken is in here and all of the red meat is in here. On this shelf right now, I have some cabbage rolls, some stuffed peppers back there, and a whole chicken. The chicken because that's where it fits. And then usually I have like lasagna or any kind of freezer-friendly meals that I prepare. Here I have a bunch of chicken broth, beef broth, tomato sauce that I made, some extra freezer packs, and then some shrimp behind there. So any kind of seafood I usually put on that shelf. And here I have more fruit, pilmeni, some vegetables, so basically a lot of extras or things that just don't fit anywhere else. Well, right now I have a lot of frozen fruit, like I have more mangoes, blueberries, strawberries, I have some riced cauliflower, and that's where I keep it. The door isn't as cold as the depth of the freezer, so I keep things like an ice cube tray here, bread, nuts, and things like that, so it's fine if they're on the door. Of course, sometimes our freezer is more full or less full depending on what we have. Sometimes I have more prepared food, sometimes less, so it all depends. But in general, I try to keep things stored kind of like this. That way I can quickly see what we have, what we don't have. The baskets really help to keep things organized, and I'm able to see how much chicken we have, for example, and that way I don't have to search throughout the whole freezer for things. I know where they're generally located. And this way I'm actually using the things that we have in our freezer and restocking it whenever we need more. I would definitely say that the freezer saves you a lot of money. It helps you reduce food waste, and it just gives you a lot more options.